Not to mention that we still have the Mindmelter. Confiscation Coup. Okay. Well, that's part of our plan. Welcome dear viewers, I'm Xnick and I want to show you today the more games of this attempt at emulating the Harmless Offering deck, but the bad news is that it's not doing what I wanted to do, because the major problem here is that we don't get enough copies of our key cards. So for instance, we have just one mechanized production instead of 4, so it makes it pretty hard to use in this deck. So I decided to leave this one out. Also, just I wanted to let you know that you cannot give the enchanted creature to the opponent, because it must be an artifact that you control. Therefore, if you in exchange the control of the artifact, the mechanized production fizzles and goes to the graveyard. But of course that's what the card says. Anyways, I tested that and it's exactly what happens. So let's quickly, I want to give you my appreciations of some of the cards. Gonti's Machinations is extraordinarily powerful. I grew fond of this card. I didn't know how effective it was, because we have some synergies going, and also we get 3 copies of this. That means we have in potentially 9 damage for the opponent and 9 life gain out of the Gonti's Machination, and also it redeems a little bit when those gains when we are taking some damage from the attacks. So it's a very good way. Also has a Revolt synergy that our deck does not use, but you can sacrifice this guy to have a Revolt enabled, and also can help you get in Delirium, because you can send the enchantment to the graveyard if you sacrifice it. So it's very good, much more than I was expecting at first. And then we have Baral. Of course, this guy is very good, but not that important in the deck, but still an early creature that the opponent has to worry about, and also gives us a discount for our expensive spells. Then Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, we can only get 2 copies. That's a pity, because this one combined with the Machinations is extremely good, and those games when you find those 2 cards are going to run very smoothly, gaining life and gaining energy and drawing cards. Well, not gaining life, but you get my thrill. Then Fretwork Colony, this card is very good on the early game. If you have a turn 2 Fretwork Colony, then the opponent is going to have to struggle to stop the attacks. This creature keeps growing and growing on every passing turn, and also if you play green and black and you are not showing the opponent your blue mana, then I don't think the opponent wants to kill the Fretwork Colony, because if you play green plus black, then there's a very high risk that your deck runs the Viper, Winding Constrictor. So we don't have this card in the game, but if you are not revealing the blue to the opponent, then he does not know that you don't have it. So killing the Fretwork Colony is going to be a very difficult choice for the opponent if you are doing that. Then Watchers of the Dead is in the deck, is here because if the plan works and we give the opponent the Delirium Demon, we don't want the opponent to have Delirium, so we should be able to get out most of the cards. But also it's a 2 mana 2/2 generic color, so you can play this early if you are having troubles with the lands. Tightening Coils, very useful for us, providing disabling an attacker and intended for our shenanigans with the Harmless Offering idea. Kindly Stranger is good only if you got the Delirium, otherwise it's just an okay creature, but once you get Delirium you can use her to remove threats, so pretty decent. Tireless Tracker, extremely powerful in any deck that can sustain the lands, so enough said. Mindmelter, yeah, I think this is more powerful than the Tireless Tracker, but it's a bit expensive to activate the ability, but also the guy cannot be blocked. It's a 2/2, so it's a bit decent, so it's not going to die to just anything, is easily killed, but also he can take care of one or more cards from the opponent's hand, so it's a very problematic creature for the opponents to deal with. Cultivator's Caravan, one of my favorite vehicles, providing mana fixing and also sometimes 5/5 attacker or blocker. Pulse of Murasa, pretty crucial for us since we are losing life on purpose. We have to recover sometimes, and 6 life at instant speed is pretty handy, and also it's going to combo with some of our key cards such as the Greenwarden of Murasa and other ones. Appetite for the Unnatural, very good against some matches. Destroy target artifact on or enchantment at instant speed, and we gain life on the process, so pretty handy for us. Mindwrack Demon, one of the stars of the games, but has strong downsides because it's going to put the top 4 cards of our library in the graveyard, and if we don't have Delirium we lose 4 life, so this is the guy that we want to keep to hand over to the opponent and remove his or her graveyard, but easier said than done. Kalitas, Traitor of Ghet, because why not? He's very strong and he has lifelink. This is the most important aspect of this guy. Speaking of lifelink, another guy that we can consider here is the Baleful Amit. This guy is good for our deck, but I couldn't find the room to add it, but I like the 4/3 lifelink, putting negative counters that can also be interesting if we are about to hand some of our creatures to the opponent to give them with a present in the form of a negative counter. Altered Ego, because goes well in our colors and with the Green Wardens, sometimes the opponent's creatures, so pretty good. Thought-Knot Seer, another very good card, 4 mana, 4/4, removes one of the cards from the opponent's hand. We get to spy, and the opponent has to reveal the hand, so that information is very valuable for us. And when this guy is killed, the opponent gets to draw, but by that time we should be on a good spot. Bounty of the Luxa, very good card for our type of deck, providing us with draw and mana. So yeah, very good. Insidious Will, our single counter spell, but also if we get enough mana, then the copy can be used to duplicate one of our important spells, so it becomes very important later. So it's not good as a counter spell, but the other options are pretty handy sometimes. Priest of the Blood Rite provides us with a 5/5 demon, and if we copy the guy we get more 5/5 flying demons, and of course it deals 2 damage to the owner at the beginning of the upkeep, so this is one of our targets to sending to the opponent. Baral's Expertise, because this is a very powerful blue spell that can deal with some very nasty creatures, and also it's a sort of color fixing. If we don't have the proper colors to cast one of our 4 mana or less spells, then we can use Baral's Expertise instead. Shrewd Negotiation, part of our combo. This is what we used to or want to use to give the opponent our cards, and in the process we take control of one of theirs, Greenwarden of Murasa, because the reason to include this is because we don't have 4 copies of our key cards in the deck. That's why we need to run this sort of cards, but still is only one Greenwarden. I'm a bit sad about that. Then Saheeli's Artistry, the other part of our combo, because this lets us create a token that's a copy of a target creature, but the copy becomes an artifact in addition to its other types. So that's the way that we want to operate this. Then Never, it's a very good removal for our deck that can destroy creature or planeswalker, and then Return can be used if we want to negate Delirium. We can exile one of the opponent's card from the graveyard, so can do some shenanigans with that. Also we get the 2/2 black zombie token, but that's not that important for us. Then Commit, similar to a counter spell but somehow more flexible, but the card that you target goes back to the opponent's, well, to the owner's library, and then when this is in the graveyard, one can use Memory to shuffle the graveyard back into the library and draw 7 cards. Again, the idea here is to negate the Delirium with Memory, and sometimes you can use the Memory for other stuff, but in the end the deck happens to be, it needs a strong early game, therefore getting to our combo is hard, because by the time we get the pieces the game is already over, because the Fretwork Colony is exceedingly strong for most of the opponents when the game goes long, and if we don't get our early board presence, then we get stomped and we never get the chance to play our combo. So I kind of gave up on the idea of the deck. I think it needs some adjustment or some tuning to make it work. We don't, in theory, in practice, we don't need to have green here, but I tried going just blue and black and it didn't work for the same reasons. So if you have any idea, please let me know. What could you change in this deck? Maybe the land base is not the right one, but who knows? Maybe sometime in the future I come back to this idea, but I have other decks that I want to try. But anyways, there were some interesting games that I wanted to share with you, so I hope you enjoyed them, and see you soon. And well, trying to record a nice game. What is this codes? Maybe this is the time of the day that we see those players. I'm liking this opener a little bit because we have the Fretwork Colony to begin with and plentiful of land. Let's begin with the Sunken Hollow, and then one of our basics, and we drop Fretwork Colony, then Cultivator's Caravan, perhaps. Oh, second one. That's interesting. So opponent going with Canopy Vista, green and white source. The sleeves are cool with Exerted Guys, Death Cap, Cultivator. Well, our guy is not going to be able to block, so we might as well swing, and opponent probably is ramping, so let's attack here. So now he has access to black mana, therefore dropping the Tireless Tracker is a bit dangerous. It's a greedy play, because then we could be getting a few clues open at next turn, but I think Still, it's better to have the caravan. Let's see. We end up applying much more pressure with this, with this guy for. Oh, the opponent is ramping as well, and having draws with Tireless Tracker. So this now becomes a 3/3, and we are going to drop. No, what? Oh yeah, sure. That's right. We don't have any other green source, so we're going to go finding that one right now. And shoot the Fretwork Colony and see what happens. Are you going to block? No, of course. The Tireless Tracker is much more valuable than the Fretwork Colony, but it's growing. It's going to become a 4/4. Of course, we take 1 point of damage at a time with this, but now the opponent is going to have a handful of tokens out of 1/1 humans out of the clues plus the mysteries. So he could open one of the clues. This is extremely great for us. Let's send our big guys. This should prompt a block from the opponent. We can later steal these. That would be a nice move to steal his Tireless Tracker with the Shrewd Negotiation. Negotiations. We trade one of our clues for the Tireless Tracker, maybe. All right. No. Decides that's too precious. Go Tireless Tracker here and Sunken Hollow. And we have now 2 more clues for us. Let's proceed. We don't have anything that we want to play, but the opponent doesn't need to know that. So we just keep back our Tireless Tracker that is actually stopping this guy from attacking. 2 Tireless Trackers? What is this about? I think I'm tempted to shoot down one of these. Are you going to attack? I don't think so. You are, okay. Joke's on you. Well, he gets another clue here with these Unbound Mysteries. Mm, 5/5. So you like the clues, right? So to take one of mine, and we get your Tireless Tracker for us. Okay, is that correct? Oh, well, that's interesting. Let's see how this ends. We'll crew the guy. Well, let's see what is in the future for us. I should expect a green ramp big guys deck that is actually the best opponent for our type of control game that we want. If the opponent goes full tokens, we might have a hard time. If we find our fourth land, this hand is great. A bit slow, but Bounty of Luxa. And opponent going Renegade map, so maybe a Revolt deck. Okay, land number 4. So Baral 6/3 is also looking good. Maybe we find a 2 or 1 mana drop that we can play now. No, just a land. Therefore, we are going to drop this, and the opponent has drawn your temple. So, could this be a Delirium deck? No, maybe it's a sacrifice Revolt deck, I presume. Or, well, no, this is maybe a very original landfall deck. Okay, Renegade Rallier covers the Renegade map. So that's a form of ramping that he has going on there. And we are going to develop, well, opponent hasn't shown us the black, but he could have Fatal Push. Yeah, but if he does, well, he does. And if he doesn't, we have a Tireless Tracker. And one less Fatal Push out of the way is good for us. We can also activate the Hissing Quagmire. So let's see if he gets the black. No, it's just white. And Gideon, alright, creates a 2/2. No, just the straight away. Okay, I think I know what this is going to be. And I probably should block this. No, do not block, because I think the opponent can bring back Gideon from the graveyard and start spamming the emblems like there's no tomorrow. So let's go with the Ether Hub plus Bounty of Luxa. Do I swing here? Yeah, let's start hitting our opponent already. Now we need double blue for Baral's expertise, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. But we are going to be playing Priest of the Blood Rite that we don't mind using to block, and we are left with the 5/5 token. Another land, and he has Revolt again. Reclamation Sage. Damn it, Reclamation Sage. Everybody has Reclamation Sage, but we have Greenwarden of Murasa. And the Pulse. Okay, then. Let's stick to our plan. Skip the attack. We now have this 2/2 blocker that the opponent probably does not want to kill. Angelic Purge to what? The demon? Okay. So smart. you going to attack? Nope, okay. This is good. Let's do the Aether Hub. I'm going to draw at least once, see what is our next card. That tapping is kind of bad. Okay, that's a better one. Okay, I want to have this out. And attacking with this, well, opponent probably can bring one of them back from the graveyard. Let's see which one he uses to block. Both. So can we kill both? Yes. That's a bit strange. So he probably has a powerful graveyard return card. He's blocking with both. Probably he wants Reclamation Sage so he can destroy other enchantments. Let's put these other Machinations out. Aha! Pulse of Murasa. Who plays with that? Now, Evolving Wilds. But that other guy cannot put out the Reclamation Sage, right? Because it has to be a permanent with 2 or less converted mana cost. So it's just another Evolving Wilds, and he has the Wastes. So probably has the what is the name? That Eldrazi Displacer. Certainly he runs that one. So if I play this, do I have enough mana to activate it? Not yet. So I want to use Pulse of Murasa, but maybe I just play this guy outright. I'm going to attack with this. No, I'm not attacking with that. And yeah, let's play the Mindmelter right now. Continue. Save a mana for this Pulse of Murasa. Or to use the clue and whatever happens first. Call for Unity, wise move, but he only has a 4/3. It's not going to do much until he gets to start using the tokens. Okay. Here comes back Tireless Tracker. Thank you very much. Take 2 damage here. Let's see. Okay, a land is great. So we are going to play Tireless Tracker for 3. The land and activate Mindmelter. So now the opponent has been depleting his deck from lands. So Mindmelter is going to have a very good time. It was the Pious Evangel. Okay, righty. Then And now we are going to be attacking with the Priest of the Blood Rite. And this guy can't be blocked, so we send him anyways. And now the race has started already, and we have Baral's expertise. Yeah. And now we are not having 2 damage done at our face all the time. Okay, opponent should have kept the land in hand, maybe with Mindmelter. Okay, 2/2, and does not attack. Baral's expertise. Let's use one of our clues first. I like this. Let's do this again. Five, 4, and the Kindly Stranger still not ready. So let's do the Caravan. Let's attack for 2 more. And attacking with the Tireless Tracker now, I don't like the idea. So maybe the opponent has Yulamog. That could be not good. And he has to play, otherwise the Mindmelter destroys the card. We are not blocking because of the call for unity, so it takes 6. Opponent, can he give them 6 more damage? I don't think with a single card. There it is possible, but we're going to take the chance here. Aha! I knew it. He wanted the revolt to happen. Okay, now he has 4 guys. We have another land that is actually quite a nice one at this stage. Do we have to tap the Caravan? I don't think so. Let's try to avoid that. Can you not tap? Damn it. There we go. There, that's better. So we are going to take down the tokens and this guy too. We drop Kindly Stranger. We're going to activate Kindly Stranger. Take down this guy. And now we have the control of the board. Of course the opponent has this call for unity without counters yet, but it's a bit scary if he finds more Evolving Wilds. But we have the Gonti's Machinations to cover our behinds. But he has colorless, he has the Wastes. What kind of cards can he possibly be playing? Now he gets the Evolving Wilds and the Call for Unity triggers. No, he does not. Ah no, he needs to revolt first. Okay. I forgot about that. That's correct. Okay, now we have the Evolving Wilds. Let's go ahead. I think we should appreciate another island over here. Let's see what hides behind the door. Nixilis, yeah, I think this is game. So game over. GG. Well, he can. Okay, continue playing. He can activate Westbell Abbey and have one blocker, so he has one more turn to go ahead. But still, it's very hard to come back. What? The AI missed it. What? Well, anyways, a victory is a victory. Back again. Let's try to find an amusing game. Our deck is trying too hard to do nasty things, but when it works, it is wonderful. And when it doesn't work, even if we win or lose, I don't mind too much. What is important about the deck is not the win or the loss. Aha, this hand. If only we had more lands. Opponent plays first, so we are on the draw. It's a greedy keep, but we are going to do it anyways, because the Gonti's Machination plus the Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, it's a very powerful combination for us. We also run the Greenwarden, but it takes lots of lands to get there, but we'll see. So we can play for sure the Gonti's Machination next turn. Then we are looking to also having Mindmelter soon. An early Mindmelter is very powerful, very strong opponent with what appears to be an energy deck. Indeed, here comes the 1/3, paid 3 energy, scry 1. It's a pretty, I think it's a very okay guy. And let's drop Machinations here, and we are not drawing our lands, so hopefully Glint-Sleeve Siphoner can fix that for us, provided we keep her around for a little while. Here comes the Harvestier. It's going to be tough to beat. It's a 3/5 flyers and can gain life for the energy, so that's bad for our deck. Okay, nice. That's a bit of a change of plans for us, or is it? Let's go with this because she has menace, so we want to start attacking with her as soon as possible. Then we have Shrewd Negotiation. We can eventually take control of the Harvestier. Opponent did a scry, I guess so. It's only 1 energy to scry. The energy. So our best card against this deck is Baral's Expertise to bounce the guys that are spending the energy. Okay, here comes the ship. Swings for 3, and probably it's going to be gaining 3 life for the opponent, and he is leaving no blockers back. It's a bit risky for the opponent, but of course we only have 3 mana and 1/2/1. That's not too meaningful, and he's gaining 3 life with this attack. So I think he's playing accordingly to his intentions. But now we can draw a card thanks to the Siphoner. The Watchers of the Dead and the land that we want to have, but it's going to enter tapped. So I think we go Tireless Tracker Sunken Hollow. We are going to attack with this, so we make sure we are getting our energy going. So if we find the land number 5, land number 5, we can use Shrewd Negotiation, give the opponent a clue. I think the opponent is going to appreciate the clue on his side, and we take the Harvester for us. Also, we want to populate our graveyard, so Kindly Stranger can be used to take down one of the offensive creatures. We can also, if we don't find lands, probably we have to play the Mindmelter ASAP. The turtle is going to make it possible for the opponent to block the Siphoner. Well, this deck of the opponent could be the Pommeler. What is the name? Yeah, he's just gathering more and more energy until he has that 1/1 artifact that gets loads of damage out of his activated ability. So he's holding back to stop our Tireless Tracker. Tireless Tracker, she will die if we swing with her, most likely. Do we want the Architect of the Untamed? We are getting energy for sure, but okay, change of plans, guys. So we have an instant that destroys target artifact or enchantment. We now have 2 clues. Let's send this Tireless Tracker in and see what happens. We don't want to spend all our mana here. We want to save something for the appetite for the Unnatural. Okay, do we steal some of the opponent's card? So this can be crewed with 1, and he probably has another one of these. Yeah, so let's go with the Watchers and save mana for this, and hope that I know I am being a bit greedy here, but I hope that this is the proper way to handle this situation. Jace is going to be able to draw cards or bounce one of our guys. What is it going to be, opponent? Of course he draws, because draw is life. Draw is the better thing that one can do in this game. Here comes the swing with the Harvester. No, it's not swinging, so he wants to defend Jace with this flyer, but now we take her down, or take it down. Yes, we are going to keep drawing Ob Nixilis. So, and the land. This is very good. I think I'm going to save Shrewd Negotiation because our plan is about to be fulfilled pretty soon. Let's use Ob Nixilis to take down one of the most problematic of this. The Architect of the Untamed can pay 8 energy to create a 6/6 token, and we don't want that happening. So goodbye, nice creature, you deserve to die because you are so good. What now? I think we're going to send we could send our 3 guys to Jace. Yes, let's do that. So at least one of them should be the opponent can choose. He either use both blockers on our menace or tries to stop Jace from taking too much damage. What is it going to be? Okay, yeah, so 2 goes in. we gain the energy. Our Ob Nixilis is now looking a bit wimpy here, but we don't mind if the opponent targets our Ob Nixilis with this guy. Confiscation coup. He's stealing our guys. Thief. Oh, that treacherous. But once again, well, this lets the opponent draw, and it's optional life loss. So what is it going to happen here? We have this. We can regain that guy if we want to, but we don't want to do that just yet. We now want to have some attackers. Okay, Altered Ego. I think we want Altered Ego over the Greenwarden of Murasa here. So let's draw with Ob Nixilis first. Okay, since we have the Greenwarden, I think we are going to kill Jace here. Give me this blocker. You get the clue, and I get your 1/3. You are scrying, alright. But we have to make sure that Jace is not going to put a stop in our plans. Okay, one Jace less to worry about. Maybe the opponent has his own Greenwarden of Murasa. Is he going to take one life and draw? Probably he does, because that's a very decent trade. Pay one life, 2 energy, and draw a card. I think it's a fair trade for a 2-mana creature. Here comes that guy. No haste is happening here. So I think it's tempting to use Altered Ego here on this flyer, but that's not our deck plan. Here we could activate one Mindmelter or drop Tireless Tracker. Let's draw first. I think I do not want to drop Tireless Trackers just now. Bounty of Luxa. This is it's impressively good for us, but can we save Ob Nixilis? Do we want to save Ob Nixilis? I think we can delay Ob Nixilis. We could have Scryed here. Nah. I think it's not that important to scry here. Let's do this. I think this is much better than this scry, and then we can block the Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. Opponent here has to discard something, and it is going to be another one of those. Okay. Do we attack? No, we don't have a good attack here. Skip. Opponent could try to go face. That actually is bad for us if he starts trying to hit our face, but Ob Nixilis is pretty scary to have around. So, maybe we should sacrifice the Machinations so we get closer to have Kindly Stranger online. Yeah, that could be another confiscation coup on this guy. Man, that's nasty. Why are you doing this to me? Those are my guys. Okay, goodbye, Ob Nixilis. Okay, we're going to shoot her down here, and having the artifact creature in the graveyard means that Kindly Stranger is now online. Oh, we will also have the Planeswalker, so nothing, not biggie. We have 5 card types in the graveyard now. Let's do a little bit of scrying, never hurt no one, so go ahead and scry. Not what we want at this point. Well, another land, who cares? So here, go Kindly Stranger, and we are going to kill the Mindmelter. Whoa, I heard a sound from the neighbors. Well, we have 3 life out of the Machinations. I think I'm going to drop the Fretwork Colony, so it should be safer enough for us having Greenwarden in hand. Also, I want to drop Bounty of the Luxa soon, but the timing has to be right. Skip the attack, continue. What I did not want is to have this guy lying around on the other side of the board, because that is awful. That guy, this is one of the most annoying guys. Ah, there you are, the pummeler. The guy that I was thinking about. Electrostatic pummeler, pay 3 energy, it gains +X, where X is the power, and we can Altered Ego that boy. We don't have that much energy, but thanks to these Machinations, we might end up having that going out for us. But other play here would be to bring back the Appetite for the Unnatural. Also a decent move. So opponent has too much going on there. We have the Greenwarden on the ready. We have the Hissing Quagmire surprise. I think we are going to have to play Tireless Tracker. No, let's go with Caravan first. Now we have double green. Do I attack? I think we can send the demon possessed witch, which is nice. This is just gets blocked by the turtle, so doesn't matter sending the guy. Oh, he blocks with this, and he's going to spend quite a bunch of energy to flip the guy, so that should be quite good for us. So he only has 7 energy then, he said it's an 8-8, but so what can the opponent do here? If he gives the guy unblockable, then we are in trouble. I think we are going to play safe here. Let's get the Greenwarden going and get that nice... Uh-oh, no, don't tell me you have a counterspell. Don't have a counterspell, please. Maybe he has a conditional counterspell, then this is too expensive for the counter to go off. That's quite a thing. So let's go the Appetite for the Unnatural. And we have to remember that we can get additional life out of the sacrifice of this enchantment. So 7, he can deal 2 from the air to us. Maybe he found something that makes this larger. He can send the turtles, but then he cannot block the colony that is going to be growing steadily. And he drops these Either's Wall. Okay, then swings for 2, and the turtles are going to be growing now. Of course, he does not. We take 2. Let's scry, why not? To the top. This is interesting. Let's put that on top. So this guy he pays only when he can play a sorcery, so it will be on his turn. And we are a bit short on mana here. Because we could do the Altered Ego plus the Negotiation. We need 4 plus 5. 4. Oh, exactly what we need here. But we don't have the appetite on the ready. But I think that still is a fair trade. No X. We are going to copy our Greenwarden. No, well, we could have copied that. Yeah, that's something we could have done it other way around. Clue over the guy. Maybe I could have sent the caravan instead. That could be something to take into account. So now we are going to be sending this and this. I'm a bit scared about the retaliation, but the opponent has to top deck something, but we just gave him a clue. He's going to spend the energy to make this grow. Then let's move on and see if our plan succeeds this time. This time for sure. So opponent it's a 19 life and we at 4, so he still has a decent chance against us, but our board is pretty big and we are going to play the Bounty of the Luxa. So here this looks like a trap, so but we should not take the damage. No, what's going on here? Maybe he has a board clear of sorts. I did not get what he was trying to do there. Okay, the land. The Insidious Will is pretty handy for us this time around. So let's go with everybody. I think I should do the appetite for the Unnatural on the Pummeler. Confirm the attack and stop the timer. Do this and see what happens. Maybe he has hexproof does not. We are entering for a massive amount of damage now. Let's do the Bounty of the Luxa. We could keep the mana for the Insidious Will too, but I don't think the opponent has it. We are facing now the AI that is about to die today. So he tried to use the confiscation coup, but we had the Shrewd Negotiation. That's a very cool game. I think this is the kind of game that I love. We are trying again. We are not happy with winning or losing. We don't mind about that. That is for mere mortals. We don't care about. We want to have a very strange scheme working with some of the most of combinations of cards. I've seen this hand before, and this was not a good hand against aggro. But the Fretwork Colony is an early Fretwork Colony is so powerful, and if we find our blue mana, we have our Mindmelter helping greatly in this possibly a control match. Energy. So that turtle can block our colony for a number of turns, but we are going to still play this guy. So at the very least, if the opponent wants to attack, then he cannot block. Let's see what he decides to do here. Probably he wants to give this guy the +1/+1 counter soon. I imagine he's going to pay the energy, because otherwise the attack does not match. Now he has only colorless land, so we should not be afraid of many things. And let's hope we find some lands. Oh, very good. So swing for 2. And now a very important decision here. We have only one energy that could be enough to play Kalitas and next turn, but we can use the energy to play the Mindmelter now. Both cards are good here. I think we want the Mindmelter because it's going to at least take one of the opponent's cards. Of course, if we leave this on the battlefield, it can take many more by activating the ability. So hopefully the opponent cannot remove the Mindmelter, and meanwhile the Fretwork Colony is going to be growing, and soon it is going to be able to kill the turtle. Caravan. I guess I could attack before, but I think we want to force the opponent to discard something. We could. A possibility is to attack and bluff that we have something, but I don't think that. Okay, now we know that the opponent has one forest left in the hand, one less forest that he is not going to be playing. And if he does not remove the Mindmelter soon, it's going to be very problematic. Okay, 2/5, so still can block the Fretwork Colony, but he cannot attack. Another land that is pretty great. We can now use Gasping Dunes to maybe kill this potential blocker, or play the Priest of the Blood Rite. Doesn't seem right at this moment. Or the Kalitas too. Let's play Kalitas here before the opponent gets the mana for a counterspell, in case he runs those, and swing with the 2/2, and the 4/4 should meet the Thriving Turtle, so not worth it. Yeah. If we had an additional land, we could attack with the colony anyways, and then the opponent loses the turtle. And with Kalitas in play, maybe we consider the option of Grasping Dunes. But of course, the activated ability of the Mindmelter is so strong. Okay, this guy is going to draw one card for the opponent. It draws a card for each other creature with +1/+1 counter. The opponent currently has one. So I think he finds this just now. Otherwise he could have spread the +1/+1 counters to give more power to the Timberland Guide. So we find our nice place here, and we begin by activating Mindmelter. So that is nice for us. So one less card to worry about is going to be Reclamation Sage. That's impressive. Now we take care of this 1/1. And send everything. Yeah, this is quite a pressure for the opponent, because this is going to turn into a 6/6 next turn. This is 2 for sure. If we kill this, we exile it. Blossoming Defense makes this one survive the attack, but we still gain 3 life. That offsets the Fretwork Colony by a lot. And we have the Pulse of Murasa. Not to mention that we still have the Mindmelter. Confiscation Coup. Okay. Well, that's part of our plan. The opponent is helping us. The only issue is that we want to block this. Supposedly it was not going to be that large by the time we were going to give it to the opponent, but I think it's still a nice trade. So thank you very much, opponent. We have commit, so we can perhaps take care of one of the guys for us, but I think here we just attack with this guy. Yeah, this should be enough. So opponent is going to receive 1 point of damage thanks to our Fretwork Colony. And we can block it with the Priest of the Blood Rite, which is a fine deal, because otherwise we take 2 on our turn. Here opponent draws 2 more. And now if we just keep blocking, the opponent is going to die. So he has to kill his newly acquired Fretwork Colony, or give this guy unblockable or something. So pretty amusing the way this turned out. So the turtle grows, but the opponent is completely tapped. So we can afford to take these 4 points of damage, and we have our 5/5 demon that can take the game for us. Yeah, that was it. Pretty easy, because our opponent helped us with our plan. So thank you very much, because he used the confiscation coup. Yeah, and we take our sweet victory. we overkill the opponent. What did we exiled? Right. So, finally we finished today's video. I want to thank you all for viewing, and I hope you have enjoyed our time together. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you think it's worth, and leave your comments below if you have any suggestions or ideas for me to try. We'll have another amazing video next time. Until then, sayonara!